So in this screencast, we're going to look at the text block within Microbit. So we've got a number of blocks to manipulate text, so we can do things like calculating the length of a string. We can join two strings together, get the character at a particular index, we can compare strings, and we can get a substring of a string. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new project, and we're going to do various different things within that new project just to show you some of this functionality. So the first thing we're going to do is on start, we're going to create a text variable called greeting and give it the value hello. Then we're going to say when the A button is pressed, we're going to do two things. We're going to calculate the length of the string, and then we're going to pick a random number between 0 and that length of the string and print out the character at that index of the string. So that's just showing you that looking at the character at a particular index. When the B button is pressed, we're going to do a substring, so we're going to print out the first 3 letters of the string. And finally, when the A and B buttons are pressed together, we're going to create a text variable called name and give it the value of your name, and then we're going to join the words greeting and name together and display them. So let's go to makecode.com now and do this. So now in makecode.com we've created a new project, and I'm going to call this new project manipulate text. So the first thing we need to do, we're going to get rid of the forever for now. So we had said on start we were going to create a variable, so we're going to make a variable, and I'm going to just click on make a variable, and I'm just going to call it greeting. Click OK. And I'm going to set, so on start we're going to set greeting to, now I'm just going to put in hello here, but I just want to show you when I start typing text here, it comes up in red and it doesn't, if I hit enter, it will just go back to 0. And what's happening there is it's expecting that this variable is numeric. So I need to make it see that this is a text variable. So if I go to advanced and just click on text here, you'll notice that the first one is just a blank text. So if I drop that in, now I can set my variable to text. So that's just something you need to be aware of. So I'm saying set greeting to hello. So that's my first part. On start, remember in the project we had said we would do on start, we would create a greeting, a variable called greeting, and give it the value hello. So the next thing we want to do is when the A button is pressed, we want to calculate the length of that string. So I'm going to go to input, and I'm going to go on button A pressed. That's the first thing. Now I want to calculate the length of the string, so I'm going to go to text here, and you see we've got length of text, and I can bring in that greeting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and make a variable again, and I'm going to call it string length. I'm going to click OK on that, and I'm going to set string length. I'm just going to pull across that to 0. I'm going to click on here and go for string length, and I'm going to set it equal to length of text. Now it says length of text ABC here, but what I can do now is I can go back into variables, pull across greeting, and that will say set string length to length of text greeting. So now just to test this and make sure it's working, what I can do is I can just do show number string length first off. Back to variables, find string length, and when I click the A button now, it should show me 5, and there it is. So this is just testing. I'm going to take out that show number in a minute, but it's just testing to make sure that it works as it should do. So we now know that we have the correct string length. So I'm just going to take out show number string length. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to pick a random number between 0 and that string length, but actually we need to go 0 to 4 rather than 0 to 5, because if we go for 5 we'll get to a character that isn't there, because remember within the string we've got an index 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4 in this particular case. So 0 will show us a H, 1 will show us an E, 2 will show us an L, 3 will show us an L, and 4 will show us an O. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into text here, and you see you've got char from a particular string at a particular value. So I'm just going to pull that across, and I'm going to go into basic, and I'm going to show string, So here I'm going to show string. So we're setting this up now. I need to pick my random number first. So we'll just go across into map, and I'm going to pick random 0 to 4 here. So I'm going to create a variable. So I'm going to make a variable, and I'm going to call it index, because I'm looking for the index within this particular string. I'm going to click OK on that. I'm going to set index to, and I'm going to set it equal to pick random 0 to 4, and I'm actually going to set it equal to pick random 0 to, now actually in this case it is going to be 0 to 4, but I want to be able it to work for any particular string length. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull across my string length, and I'm going to go to math, and I'm going to do -1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say string length -1, and I'm going to put that in as my upper bound for this random. So here it's saying set index to pick random string length -1, 0 to string length -1. So that's going to do 0 to 4 in this case. I'm just going to pull that up here. So now what I'm saying is I'm calculating my length of my string, then I'm going to pick a random index within that from 0 to the string length -1. And then finally I'm going to show the string the char from, and it should be greeting. So I'm going to go back to variables and go for greeting here. Drop that in, and then and the index here is what I want to bring in here. So I'm going for index. So here this is going to get the character from greeting at that specific index. So let's just try and see what that does now. So it's showing me an L, so that's either 2 or 3. Go again, it's showing me the H, so my index was 0. The O, so my index in this case must have been 4. So you can see it's randomly picking what it's displaying. Okay, and that looks like it's working correctly. So that's just on, so there's a little bit going on there because we're calculating the length of the string, we're picking an index from 0 to the end of that string, and then we're just showing that. So that's just that char from functionality. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the B button, and remember in the B button we just want to substring. So we'll just have a look at that now. So we're going to go to input, and we're going to go on button A pressed. So what we need to do when the button B is pressed, we need to substring the first 3 characters of our greeting and display it. So I'm going to go to basic and show string. So on button B pressed, we're going to show some kind of a string. I'm going to go to text, and you see here you've got your substring of a particular string from your index where you want to start and of length. So I'm going to pull that across. So here I want to put greeting in the first part because that's the string I want. So I'm going to go into variables and pull across greeting and just drop that in there. And then my starting index is 0 and my length is going to be 3. So if I now click the B button, it's printing out HEL, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. So this is just a substring functionality within the text box. And then the final part of our project is when the A and B buttons are pressed together, we want to join the greeting of hello and your name. And in my case, that would be Pam. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to input, and we're saying when button A and B are pressed, then we want to show a string. Get rid of show number and click show string. I'm going to pull that across, and then we're going to go back into the text blocks, and here you can see you've got a join. So I'm just going to pull that down to show string, and I'm going to join something together. So the things I'm going to join together are variables, which is the greeting, but I also need to have a new variable, so I'm going to make a variable here, and the new variable is name. Click OK on that, and I'm going to, first off, I'm going to set my name to, and I need to go into text and get the text. I'm going to set the name to Pam. Obviously you're going to put in your own name there, and then once I have it set to Pam, I can join the greeting and the variable name. So now if I click the A and B buttons together, it's saying HELLO, that's hello. and then PAM. So that is just a few things on the text